y'all? It's your girl Tammy, and welcome to another Mixxy Mashup. Now, I know this is late, y'all. Give me a little bit of grace. I had a long week last week. I tried to get some content out to y'all, but I wasn't able to do this. So, y'all will be getting two Mixxy Mashups this week because y'all know I try to drop it at the end of each week. So, without further ado, thank you for rocking out with me. Thank you for giving me a little bit of grace. And let's get into this content and these pop stories that have been going on the last week or so. So, as y'all know, our girl Ciara is currently about to be a mommy of four. She revealed about a week or so ago that she is having another baby with her quarterback loving husband, Mr. Russell Wilson, who plays for the Denver Broncos. This will be him and Ciara's third child together, but it will be their four children because you know that Ciara has her oldest son is with rapper Future. So this was a surprise to everybody. You know, we covered Ciara in the last Mixxy matchup, and her and Chris Brown just released a song. That's how we roll. So, you know, I was excited for the idea that, you know, she's about to start embarking on her new album release. And then our homegirl drops this. So actually, Russell dropped this on his Instagram about a week or so ago. And it was really, really cool because we didn't know what was happening. She's standing by this pool, I'm assuming in that large and amazing home they have. And essentially, she's turning sideways. So, you know, Ciara's naturally slim. And then we see her turn to the side and we realize the baby bump shows. So it was just a really cute, classy, nice reveal showing that she was pregnant. And you know, our girl's not going to do nothing if she don't dance. So she danced and hopped her way around with the baby bump. And it was just the cutest thing to see. And, you know, she dedicated the video to her husband and to the new song that she has. So it was just a really, really beautiful reveal. And, you know, our girl Ciara, the prayer has really worked for her. I mean, she married Russell in 2016 when he was playing for the Seattle Seahawks. He's now with the Denver Broncos. And in that time, you know, she's had their beautiful daughter, Sienna, that she had in 2016. And then they had a son, Win, in 2020. And now they're about to have another bundle of joy. So we couldn't be more excited for her. I think it's awesome how she's spacing out her children around like projects she's taking on and doing. Because as you know, Ciara has quite a few businesses. She actually did like a business funnel, and she's been helping Black women to raise money for businesses. I know she has a book bag line called Dare to Roam, which is in Target. Ciara has a whiskey called 10 to Rum, which I heard is 10 to 1, which I heard is very, very good. I think it's a whiskey or a rum. I think it's a rum. And she just has a lot going on, including this new project. So nothing is stopping Mama from moving, and we know she's gonna be dancing all through this pregnancy. So just super happy for them. Congratulations
Now,
to the
you
Wilson.
know, I hate the idea of this story. I hate to follow up good news with bad news. And unfortunately, some sad news came across. Our girl Khadijah Hawk from ATL fame, you know, she's twins with Malika Hawk, and she's also one of the besties of Khloe Kardashian, is getting a divorce from her husband, former football player Bobby McCray. He used to play for the New Orleans Saints. And that's actually how they met. It's so sad because they're divorcing after 13 years. Um, you know, Khadijah is the twin we haven't really seen that often because, you know, we've mostly seen Malika. You know, Khadijah was on the show really, really early on. She was in the Chloe wedding and stuff like that. But she kind of, after ATL and that kind of after that beginning fame of kind of showing them with the Kardashians, specifically with Khloe, because they've been friends with Khloe since high school. We sort of saw her fade away once she met Bobby. And ironically, she met Bobby when Kim was when Kim was dating Reggie Bush from the New Orleans Saints. She was going down there frequently. She used to go down there with Chloe and sometimes Courtney, and then, you know, Khadijah and Malika would go. And Khadijah and Bobby met because they were constantly, you know, down there. So it's I was just thought they were a beautiful couple. Malika and Khadijah actually have a YouTube channel on the Kim Network. And so it's just really interesting and sad. And it's always sad to hear a couple breaking up after so long because they've been together for such a long time. But she did announce the separation from him. And she wrote on Instagram that now more than ever, I've been relying on prayer. Family is so important to me. Unfortunately, life has brought me to tremendous transition. After 13 years of marriage, 16 years together, and four incredible children, I have come to the intensely difficult conclusion that while Bobby and I have a great deal of love for one another, it's best we move forward separately. So that's it, y'all. It's just really sad. They have beautiful children, have had a life together for many, many years. But I am also happy when people do realize if they don't want to be together, that it ends peacefully and that, they can come to, a healing place, hopefully. I think Khadijah will be fine. She has a really loving family. If y'all get a chance to check out their channel, please do. They don't post on it anymore, but they still have the videos up. And, Malika was one that was just, I mean, Malika and Khadijah are very close. Obviously, they're twins, but they have other siblings, y'all. Accomplished, really, really cool. They have a brother, Jamal. He's really, really relaxed and cool. So I know he's supporting her because he's like the best friend of both of his sisters and just amazing. But their mom was a single mother and she raised them and their other sister, who's a doctor, I believe. So they just have a really loving family and good support system. The other siblings aren't twins, but their mother also has an amazing story because she was somebody who, got married later on in life. So I definitely think that Khadijah understands and believes in love and know that she'll find it again even after the situation because their mother found it again. And she has an incredible story about, finding somebody else later on in life that's been an amazing partner to her. So prayers going out to sis. I hope, they keep it peaceful and just have a good transition. And just sorry to hear about that breakup. Now, this is another divorce story, y'all, but I have to say, I don't know if I'm actually sad about this. I feel like our girl Britney just really needs freedom and release. We know she was in that crazy ass, ridiculous conservatorship that we're super happy she's out of right now. And I just really feel like this marriage was supposed to be released. You can't ever say you're super happy for somebody being divorced, but honey, I'm happy for somebody being divorced. So unfortunately, I think she heard about this when we did, but Britney Spears and her soon-to-be ex-husband Sam Asghari actually filed for divorce from her. As y'all know, Britney and Sam got married back in 2022, shortly after her, conservatorship was dissolved, and it put her in charge of her estate for like $60 million. And they announced this week that they were separated. And he said that he was going to be filing for divorce. Now, look, I am happy for her to be separated because I don't really trust him. I don't trust anybody that kept letting her dance in front of that camera like that, honey. Look, I feel like he's just was somebody who was leeching off of her. I know they were around each other for a really long time, but I feel like there was just something sketchy about him. And I am happy that she's starting to become free. And, Britney's 41. This girl really just deserves peace and the ability to just like live her life and not be so stressed out all the time. She initially didn't say anything, but then she did come out and she did make a statement. She said, 6 years is a long time to be with someone. So I'm a little shocked, but I'm not here to explain because it's honestly nobody's business. And it really isn't. But we still gonna be a little nosy. Um, Interestingly enough, Sam came out and stated that he doesn't plan to like try to file for anything or try to get anything. Now, from what I understand, Brittany got an airtight prenup. And if y'all remember back during her conservatorship, right after she said she was going to be getting married, the fans were livid, like, do not marry this man. But Octavia Spencer posted on Twitter that Brittany better make sure she get a prenup. I just think a lot of people weren't feeling his energy and just weren't trusting of him. But he was in her life and he was somebody who lived with her and he wasn't as bad as the other people. But honestly, we ain't never trusted with Brittany. And even though he said he wasn't going after anything, the court documents that were filed in Los Angeles cite not only irreconcilable differences, but show that they separated a couple of weeks ago and that he's planning to seek financial support from her. So, sir, why do you need financial support from Brittany if you don't plan on trying to take her for her money or enforce any type of prenup? Um, it's just really, really weird. I think that he's aware of her income and I think he just is trying to cash in on a payday. I I love that her fans are supporting her like they always do. I love that they're trying to keep her in, high spirits. He came up to some BS talking about they're ending their journey. Honey, she's ending your paycheck as she should be. I expect to see him in a McDonald's any near you sometime soon. And him asking for privacy and then knowing he's divorcing Britney Spears is so extra. And it just makes me feel like he's just going to be all over that situation. The fact that he's trying to like obtain financial support from her and ask her to pay for his lawyers. Sir, if you just want to be divorced, just let it go. We don't have to pay for no lawyers. We'll just get divorced. That's it. If there's no contest, you don't even need attorneys. That's how you know he's looking for money from her. Because why do you need to get a divorce attorney if we're not going to split anything? Brittany don't want whatever folding chair and sneakers you came in with. So you know that he's looking for something from her because he wants her to pay for his attorney. Some people are saying that he may be threatening to like exploit her in some ways. I know one person who is happy, Plies. Hey y'all, you know I love to hear from y'all. So don't forget to comment below, like the video, and let's get back into it. Hey y'all, you know I love to hear from y'all. So don't forget to comment below, like the video, and let's get back. Child, they are not stopping coming for our girl Nicki Minaj. It is, I don't know what's going on. Everybody trying to come for Nicki Wallet every 5 minutes. I don't get it. I hope this story isn't true the way it's being told to us. And sometimes I understand there's controversy around her husband and questions around her husband, but I also sometimes wonder if people sort of come for her because they know he has a troubled past and know he's got a problematic history that they can always pull that up in regards to like dealing with him, or if he gets into something where he may be defending her. I don't know. It sounds like he could have been defending her, but I don't know. The details are very sketchy. It's a little weird. But anyway, Nicki and her husband, Kenneth Petty, are the subjects of a lawsuit from a former security guard that claims that they both physically attacked him. So his name is Thomas Wiedemuller, and he alleged that Kenneth punched him in the face during a 2019 dispute. So this was a while ago, you all. This was a concert I think Nicki was doing in Frankfurt, Germany, and during the show, a fan passed by a security guard and hopped on stage while Nicki was rhyming and like kind of came for her. And according to I guess the security guard that said he got attacked, there was a female security guard that was supposed to be protecting Nicki. She did not protect her, so the fan was able to rush the stage while she was performing. Nicki was not happy with it, and after she got off stage, Nicki basically cussed this woman out and was like, "Look, you ain't do your job. You basically wasn't Julius for me. You wasn't really protecting me. How the hell did this person even get on stage?" And he said that Nicki was yelling at the woman. He tried to intervene because the woman was going to cry. And he said that he claims that Nicki was filming the woman and demanding to explain, what was going on, why she messed up so bad, and she was filming her on camera. Now, all of these things are alleged because we really don't know what occurred, but this is what the Mr. Wiedemuller is saying occurred to why, he ended up getting attacked afterwards. He said he tried to step in, they got into it, and Nicki ended up throwing a shoe at him. Now, this is all allegedly. We don't really know. It's weird too because I'm not sure that many people backed him up on his statements, which is also kind of awkward. He claims he got into it with her husband, and then the argument was ended right there for a little bit. Then later on he claimed that he came into contact with the two of them and then two other security guards, and he claimed that Kenneth kind of attacked him from the back, I guess, or brutally attacked him to the point that he was injured. He is currently he is currently still demanding like a default judgment. So basically, he's saying, he filed this lawsuit. They never responded to the lawsuit, and now he wants the judge to get a default judgment. He wants a default judgment of $742,000. Yes, $742,000. Now I want to know what kind of ass whooping that was. But he said he had to undergo multiple surgeries, y'all. He said he had 5 plates in his jaw, and his jaw had to be reconstructed, and it's not fully reconstructed. He said that the doctors had to insert implants into his jaw as part of the surgery, and they had to insert donor bones from a deceased person in order to preserve the space for future implants. So I guess he can't afford the implants, so they have to wait to put them in. So they had to get them from a dead body. It just gets weirder and weirder. But anyway, he's saying that surgery, his livelihood has been threatened because he can't go out and work. And he basically is like, hey, they haven't responded to the lawsuit. And of course, this is allegedly. And so he wants money. He said he wants $500,000 for pain and suffering, $200,000 for emotional distress, and $21,000 for his medical bills. and he also wants to pay them to pay his court costs, the cost of his attorneys. So he's got a little bill that he lined up and came to that $742,000. This is always a weird scenario. Anytime that I think people are just dealing with people like employees and stuff like that, we always hear things come out and not know the full tale. I really hope it is true. It isn't true that they, attacked him in any way, or if he was just doing his job, that was it. I do think that um there could have been a better way that this was handled, even in how he first intervened, because he told people at first to not bother the situation when Nicki was talking with the young lady and to leave it alone. So I don't know how it escalated to what it escalated to. And, it's uncomfortable to me that nobody was really, um, you know, protecting Nicki on stage. It's weird to me that they wouldn't even be able to somebody even jump and not get knocked down. People know when they get up on that stage, it's not cool. And honestly, you would be getting fired. Julius would never. Do you hear me? Never. You're not getting close to Beyonce. It's not happening. You're getting thrown off stage. Try it again. Julius didn't even play in that elevator. Do you hear me? So I just really feel like we got to have more competent professionals when it comes to security situations. Now, who in the hell thought it was a good idea to give Sheree the fast money round? So as y'all may have seen online, our girls from Real Housewives of Atlanta were going up against the Real Housewives of Orange County last week on Family Feud. And our girls from Real Housewives of Atlanta won the game. And as you know, whenever celebrities come onto the show, they're normally raising money for charity. And I thought it was really cool that the charity that they were actually going for was the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation. They probably explained this on the show, but for many people who don't know, Boris Lawrence Henson was actually the father of Taraji P. Henson, the actress. He suffered through a lot of mental health issues, and I believe he ended up committing suicide, but I'm not sure about that last part. But anyway, Taraji started a foundation a couple years back, and she even had a show and may still have a show on Facebook about mental health. She's really into it and making sure people can have proper access to mental health, especially people of color, and to like eradicating the stigma and showing support for it. So it was awesome to me that they were the ones that was the charity they chose to pick for Family Feud. Anyway, the girls won the game. So, they're already getting that money. But then you get fast money round. You can just get, throw the purse up a little bit higher. And they pick Kenya Moore for fast money and Sheree Whitfield. Now, y'all know Sheree is always on the wrong team. And I'm sorry, when it comes to who might be the brightest on that episode, we absolutely know Kenya is savvy and a very smart woman. Also, sis has been used to being, on the spot as a pageant person. She's hosted things. Kenya is smart. She knows her stuff. They could have picked anybody else on that show because on that same panel was Marlo, Sheree, Sonya, Drew. And I'm just thinking, like, okay, y'all got this, y'all got this. They could have picked Sonya. They could have picked Drew, in my opinion. I don't think Marlo would have been a good pick. She's really in the charade house when it comes to stuff. We see how she just be misspelling words and mispronouncing things, honey. So she wasn't it. But somehow these fools landed on Sheree. And when I tell you, Sheree failed the girls. So, in Fast Money, you have to get a certain amount of points in order for you to like win the round. And so they go with the top answers on the board for the rest of the, Family Feud the Family Feud process. It's the same thing, but with Fast Money, you have to kind of mostly get number ones, number twos to really get that money up. They let Sheree go first. Why did she score 34 points? So Sheree really got 34 points out here and left Kenya for dead. Do you understand what I'm saying? Kenya had to score the rest of the points because they have to have at least, I think, 200 points to win the game. So they get to the fast money round. Kenya answers in the second round and she misses the jackpot by 6 points. But that's only because Sheree got 34 points. Kenya got so close, but I think 3 of the 4 of her answers, and they only give them, I think, like 6 answers on the board. And Steve gave her a chance to get like the last one. She got so close to having like almost number one answers for almost all of her answers for the questions. But Sheree, 34 points, bottomed them out, and they lost the fast money. It was just, why would it was heartbreaking to see. And again, Sheree failed the girl. She might be old and cold, but she ain't that bright. Now, this one has really been a lot going on in this last week with this like family in this story. If most of y'all have not seen The Blind Side, I don't know where you've been under a rock. It was such a good movie. It did extremely well in the box office. It got an Oscar for Sandra Bullock. But it has been a crazy week for the young man that was basically I was going to say the premise of the movie, Michael Orr, and this family, the Tuohys, that supposedly adopted him. At least that's what they told us in the damn movie. And apparently he's going on record as saying that that is actually not the case. And that's what we're really finding out this last week. So recently, Michael, who is a former NFL star, he's promoting this book called Back Against the Wall. And when he was promoting it, he basically let it be known and slipped that the Tuohys never adopted him. And he recently just filed a lawsuit against them, basically saying that they've had him in a conservatorship, think Britney Spears, since he was, a very young age, I think probably 18 or 19. And basically that they lied to him and told him that they were adopting him. And that's what the paperwork was for. And he needed to sign it. And it was actually to put him in a conservatorship. This man is now 37 years old and still in a conservatorship, which is wild. These people were definitely taking advantage of him. So he filed some court papers back in on the 14th of this month, saying that he was never adopted as a teenager. He lived in Tennessee, and Sean and Lee Ann Tuohy, who were the people that are portrayed in the movie, said that they had actually placed him in a conservatorship unbeknownst to him. He claimed that the conservatorship gave away his rights to sign contracts and to make education and medical decisions. And he potentially lost millions because he didn't necessarily know that they were in there. So there could have been people approaching them that never came to him because they thought that they were speaking on his behalf when it came to deals, even though he was in the NFL and had a manager and an agent. He's demanding immediately that the conservatorship be terminated, and it's been in place for almost 20 years. So since he was, 18 till now. Now, here's the crazy part. When the conservatorship went into place, it was clear from it that he had no mental defects or no physical defects. And so that's what makes you also realize that these people were probably being shady, because why, if that's the case, was this man in a conservatorship way after he got into the NFL, way after, the situation went down? He signed the paperwork when he was 18 after he was living with them for more than a year. The judge granted them all powers of attorney to act on his behalf over his medical decisions. And he was not allowed to enter in any contracts without their direct approval. And, he was really young. He didn't know, but, he went on to play for the Baltimore Ravens and some other teams before he left the NFL. I believe he played for a total of like 9 years. So he said he believed that he was always adopted by them because that's what they told him. And up until February of this year, he thought that they were always adoption papers. He said when he entered their family, he was told that they intended to legally adopt him, and they instructed him to call them, mom and dad. And up until that point, he's always said that. He was placed in foster care when he was 11, if you don't know his background. He attended 11 schools in 9 years, and he eventually ended up homeless for a time. So that's when a family friend introduced them to the Tuohys. And, his life changed after that, as far as like, being able to live somewhere, having a regular family call home. He had a really, really tough life. But this man is like, I don't give a damn. He got married, I think about 2 or 3 years ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, has a beautiful wife. And what I honestly think is that his wife came in and saw the messiness that was going on and was like, what the hell? Because, once you get married and stuff, and this is why a lot of like mothers sometimes of like NFL players, and you hear this all the time of women who are not necessarily in it for money, talk about like, when a guy is famous and the mother, and maybe he's taking care of his mom and the mother doesn't like the wife, and the wife is really coming in and noticing how like things are really messy, or people in their lives are taking advantage of them, and that person is able to come in and be like, hey, what's going on? Why is this person getting money from you? Or why are you giving out money to this and this person? And the wife starts seeing things that don't look right, and then she speak on it. Now, I'm not putting this on that woman. I don't know if she actually said anything or not, but I'm assuming some stuff started to happen that just didn't make sense to them. What's crazy about it is that in the conservatorship that he's asking to have terminated, he wants them to stop using his name and likeness because they've made a gang of money off of being the blind side people. And they actually use his likeness to promote their foundation. Um, and recently on Barstool, well, a week before this came out that he was suing them and that he said the conservatorship was a hustle, their son had revealed that, they had this huge movie deal from the blind side that like benefited all of their families because the Tuohys have their own children. And he basically said that their children, which are named Sean and Collins, that the Tui family, when they made the Blind Side movie, they negotiated the rights to the movie with 20th Century Fox, and they were receiving 225,000 plus 2.5% of all future profits from the movie. The movie, which they didn't know how well it would do, ended up grossing $330 million. So any rights to that film when it gets shown on television, all that back end, they still get money from that. And the son confirmed it on Barstool was like 2, 3 weeks ago. And now he came back on and basically said, like, oh, we knew he was going to do that. He's been trying to shake us down. Child, shake y'all down. Y'all using that man's likeness. And your parents hustled him into conservatorship for what? Right after he got into the NFL in the situation, you could have still been advisors to him without still having him under that contract. So he said that they've been reaping millions from him and he wants a financial accounting and audit done. I hope he gets every dime that he's worth it because they definitely have juiced everything out of that situation in terms of everything that they can get. And all of the entities that are surrounding them are based on the fact that they did this amazing thing for this young man. And come to find out, they blindsided his ass. Now, last but not least, y'all, our girl Keke Palmer is getting all of the ire and smoke over her recent collaboration with Usher for his new song Boyfriend. As y'all know, last month Keke and her baby daddy went through it online because he decided to weigh in on an outfit she wore where her cakes was out, granted, at the Usher residency concert in Las Vegas. As we know, Kiki's a mother, and she was out for the first time, after having a baby, going out with some friends, and they went to Vegas to go see the Usher show. And everybody who's seen the Usher show, whether you've seen it online or not, or whether you've seen it on the blogs, whatever, that Usher always, calls out the celebrities. Plenty of people, famous people have gone to see the residency because Usher's been there now for, I think, about 2 years. And he calls out, the celebrities every time he goes up to them, he speaks. I mean, he literally was just serenading Patti LaBelle like the week before. Anyway, because of Kiki's outfit, Darius, her baby daddy, was home and decided that he was going to publicly shame her online and tweet from his energy and attitude to remind her that she was a mama. And so as a result, he got a lot of backlash because people were just like, what are you doing? Like, sir, we don't even really know you other than being Kiki boyfriend. And now when you decide to come online, you berate the mother of your child about her behavior, which by the way, if you watch the actual video, Kiki never actually did anything with Usher. Like he spun her around. He did not know she was wearing the dress where her booty was out. He just kind of, saw that she had on a sheer dress, but I don't even think he cared about that. He was just doing what he does with everybody because he also asked her to sing. But, Darius got in his feelings and decided to tweet from inside the car or whatever. And, he got hit with a bunch of backlash. Like, what are you doing, sir? Like, and instead of him, apologizing or taking it down, he decided to double down and remind her that she was a mother. And his words exactly was, we live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks. Sir, respectfully, when did you make her your wife? Because last time we checked, she's your girlfriend that had a baby. She's not even your fiance that had a baby. So where are we going with the wife comment? You got to put a ring on it for that. And to please others. And he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case. Well, now you're resting your bags on the curb because it looks like Kiki is absolutely done with him. She basically has not said anything online, but somebody did remix an interview that she did a while back, where she said, ain't nothing going, you ain't changing nothing over here, sweetheart. So it looks like he is going to be taking the 101 bus down Biscayne Boulevard trying to find another place to live in LA. But either way, he cited his standards and morals, and he hasn't really stopped getting that backlash. But it looks like our girl Kiki has moved on and moved on right into Usher's new video and song called Boyfriend. The video obviously has gone viral because of it, and it's actually kind of framed around the Vegas show a little bit. And Kiki's definitely making a little bit of, yeah, I wouldn't say jab. She's just definitely being a little bit petty in the video, but petty in a good way. Because Kiki's an artist, she's a creative, and I think a lot of times when people are famous, they normally will try to like they use their art to like showcase how they feel about stuff. She hasn't come out publicly and spoken about it. She hasn't tweeted about it. She hasn't done any interviews about it. Darius is the only one that felt the need to tell their business online. Of course, shortly after this came out, within 24 hours, some unknown source, probably Darius' brother, came on to say that Darius is focused on his acting career. We've seen you in nothing. And he wants to put the drama behind him. So they wanted to be noted that you don't have to be in the same house to be parents. Clearly, Darius always felt that way because he's only her baby daddy and not her husband, and that he's moved on. Darius has not chosen to speak on the situation. And honestly, I don't even know what Darius sounded like. So we're good with that. I girl Kiki let you know early on, I am not the one or the two. I am Miss Kiki Palmer, and you better remember that. So I'm glad Kiki's moved on. She said it was a dream of hers since she was 12 to, dance with Usher, to sing with Usher. It's been an amazing experience. She's happy that he even honored her by putting her in the video. It's very, very cute. It feels more big brother, little sister, even though the song is called Boyfriend to me. And I'm happy she got to realize a dream and realize that Darius was a loser. So that's it, y'all. That's the end of the Mixie Mashup. Thank you for joining me, and I will see y'all on the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.